Hello, Liverpool fans. Welcome to the Liverpool Report, your go-to source for the latest news, match updates, and transfer stories straight from Anfield. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that subscribe button now and stay in the loop with all things Reds. Ibrahima Konate claims he and Virgil van Dijk want to be the best defensive partnership in the world. Konate and Van Dijk have helped Liverpool achieve the meanest defence in the Premier League, and they have conceded just 21 goals. The France centre-half has fought off competition at Anfield to become Van Dijk's trusted partner under head coach Arneslot, and he says he has learned so much from the Dutch star. Konate, 25, watched Van Dijk when he was at RB Leipzig, but he didn't realise how good he was until he began working with him at Liverpool in 2021. He says the Reds skipper is able to get inside the heads of opposition attackers and make them believe they cannot beat him. What a defender, he said. I think if we talk about him and what he's done, it's unbelievable. I have a very good relationship with Virgil on the pitch and outside of the pitch. When I came here as a 21-year-old, he gave me a lot of advice and helped me with my adaptation here. When I was in Leipzig, I watched some games of Liverpool, and I didn't realise how good he was. Then when I came here, sometimes I'd think, no, how's this possible? Now I think because he's too good, some strikers see Virgil and are just thinking, I've no chance against him. On the pitch I need him, and I think it's the same way for him, hopefully. I know how good he can be for me, and we just work together and try to be the best partnership in the world. Liverpool can maintain their perfect season at Anfield on Thursday if they can overturn Tottenham's 1-0 lead from the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg and return to the final at Wembley on March 16th. The Reds are chasing glory on 4 fronts, and Konate says they must work even harder to maintain their quest for silverware. We've had a great start, and everything is fine for us at the moment, even in the Champions League, he said. But I think the most important thing is that we start again and we work even harder, because we're into the second part of the season now. We have to work a lot because everyone wants to beat us, so we just have to keep going all the way to the end. It'll be very difficult and we have to work so hard just to keep going and remain calm. Konate has his eyes on lifting a first Premier League title because it is the only domestic trophy he has not yet won, and Liverpool are 6 points clear of Arsenal, with a game in hand. Of course, this title is the only one that's been missing between my hands in England, and I really hope this season we will achieve that, he said. We know all our fans are behind us, and we have to do everything we can to achieve this. Gravenberch has admitted that former Liverpool star Sadio Mane helped convince him to ditch Bayern Munich for a move to Anfield in 2023. The Dutch star had joined the German giants from Ajax in the same summer as Mane, who called it a day at Anfield in 2022. And, despite helping Bayern clinch the Bundesliga title, both players found their game time limited, and they each only spent 1 season in Germany, having played together just 19 times. Gravenberch only started 6 out of his 34 appearances for Bayern before he was snapped up by Liverpool in a deal potentially worth £40 million on transfer deadline day in the summer of 2023. On the other hand, Mane made 38 appearances, netting 12 goals and providing 6 assists, but was deemed surplus to requirements after now England manager Thomas Tuchel took over. The Senegalese star subsequently moved to Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr in a £24 million deal. But before he departed, Gravenberch has shed light on the pivotal role Mane played in his move to the Reds and the desperate times faced in the Bundesliga. Sadio is a really nice guy. He shared with LFC TV in the latest episode of their A Day With series. When I was in Munich, I asked him also about Liverpool, if it was a good step for me, how the club was and everything. He said a lot of good things, so in my head I was like, I have to go. The Dutchman also touched on his interactions with former Reds boss Jurgen Klopp and how the German ensured that his game time would be vastly improved by leaving Munich. I spoke at the time with Klopp, the gaffer, and he told me my chances would come for sure. You will get your minutes, you will get your chances, but then you have to show me if you are ready for it. That was always in the back of my head. My only focus was, I have to show the Ryan Gravenberch again. Gravenberch further discussed how he struggled to adapt to life in Germany. adding I was born and grew up in Amsterdam, so I knew everything, I knew everybody. I went to a different country, a different city, where I didn't know anybody or anything. It was difficult, but it was also nice to go out of my comfort zone. Ajax is a really big club, but I think if you want to reach the top, you have to go to England, Spain, or Germany to reach your full potential. I didn't play a lot at that time at Bayern Munich. I came from Ajax, where I played everything. I was at the top of the group and then went to such a big club like Bayern Munich and saw other players who were really good and really big. You want to also play there, but I didn't play a lot. It was a bit difficult. But I had my parents. I had a lot of conversations with them, and they kept me calm. I learned to always be ready. If you don't play a lot, when you then have to come in, it's really difficult because I didn't for like 4 or 5 games and then I'd come in for 20 minutes. I'd have to then show myself, but I hadn't played for a long time. Under new head coach Arneslot, Gravenberch has become a pivotal anchor in front of a relatively solid Reds defence and is now a first-team regular for the league leaders, reports the Liverpool Echo. I didn't play a lot and I didn't want to have another year like this, he admitted. I knew I had to show myself. Sometimes you have to adapt to new club, new country. Everything is new. Now I feel comfortable. I want to win titles with Liverpool. For sure the Premier League. I think that's the thing we have to achieve this season. The contract standoff between Liverpool and Mohamed Salah might be tense, but it doesn't seem to be stressing the Egyptian out. With only 5 months remaining on his existing contract, speculation surrounding Salah's future continues to run rife. If he fails to agree an extension in the coming weeks, he will leave Anfield for nothing at the end of the season. If that happens, there will presumably be plenty of offers on the table for the 32-year-old, though a move to the Saudi Pro League looks likeliest. Last month, when visiting Liverpool's training ground to interview Arneslot, Gary Lineker bumped into Salah, who offered the match of the day host a little insight into his thinking ahead of a potential summer exit. "He's a lovely guy," Lineker said on the Rest is Football podcast. "I spent 10 minutes with him when I went to visit Arneslot." Co-host Alan Shearer asked, "Did you not get it out of him whether he's staying or going or not?" Lineker replied, "I didn't, no. He was just being funny. He asked me, 'How old were you when you finished?' And I said, 'Well, English football I finished when I was 32, and then I went to play in Japan for a couple of years.' And he went, 'Ah, you went for the money, did you?' And I said, 'Well, yeah, I suppose so.' And he went, 'Yeah, I might do the same.' He then winked at the press guy that was there. It was just a joke. But he has got that cheeky sense of humour. Despite the possibility of a summer departure, Liverpool supporters are clinging to the hope that Salah will decide to prolong his tenure in Merseyside. His uncertain future hasn't dampened his on-field performance, with the Salah scoring 25 goals across all competitions this season, matching last season's total already. His goal-scoring prowess has propelled Liverpool to the top of the charts, both at home and in Europe. The Reds have a 6-point lead over Arsenal, who sit second in the Premier League, following their 2-0 victory against Bournemouth on Saturday, courtesy of a Salah double, and they could extend their lead to 9 points if they win their game in hand against Everton next Wednesday. They also topped the Champions League phase table, securing 7 victories from their 8 matches. In the last 16, they'll go up against either PSG, Brest, Monaco or Benfica, depending on the outcomes of the playoffs and the draw for the subsequent round. Salah's predicament isn't unique at Anfield. Both Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk have less than 6 months left on their current contracts, so Liverpool risk losing all 3 players at the end of the season for nothing if contract extensions aren't negotiated and signed. Real Madrid are optimistic about securing Alexander-Arnold, with the defender reportedly verbally committing to a move to the Bernabeu recently. Van Dijk, meanwhile, is expected to remain at Anfield, although a new contract has not been finalised yet. Arne Slot's star striker at Feyenoord has joined AC Milan in a deal worth around £30 million. The Mexican forward dazzled for the Dutch side under Slot, scoring 23 goals in the 2022-23 campaign that saw them win the Eredivisie before bagging another 26 the following campaign. There have been reports that Slot could have tried to bring Gimenez with him to Liverpool after his impressive goal-scoring record, coupled with the sketchy form of Darwin Núñez. But Gimenez has now pledged his future to AC Milan, signing a contract until 2029 as he bids to follow in the footsteps of some legends who have played for the club, such as Filippo Inzaghi and Andriy Shevchenko. The club said AC Milan is delighted to announce the permanent signing of Santiago Tomás Gimenez from Feyenoord Rotterdam. The Mexican striker has signed a contract that lasts until 30 June 2029. Gimenez will wear the number 7 shirt. Gimenez added, "Hi Milanistas, this is Santiago Gimenez. First of all, I want to send you a big hug and say that I will see you soon at San Siro to celebrate lots of goals. All the best." Gimenez won 3 trophies with Slot, including the Dutch Cup last season, and earlier this year he suggested he could one day reunite with the Dutchman at Liverpool in the future, teasing a possible move to the Premier League. Football is always about the same familiar faces, and that is the beauty of football. Leaving a mark, friendships all over the world, to meet again, greet each other and see each other again, he told Fox Sports Mexico after being asked about Slot. "Since I was a child, I always wanted to be in one of the 5 best leagues in the world," he added. "And one of those includes Spain, the Premier League, or Italy. I don't have a preference for any of them, and I would like to play in all of them. Why not? It comes with Liverpool having a particularly quiet transfer window under Slot, who didn't make many signings last summer either. The only player who arrived was winger Federicochiesa, who has not started a game in the Premier League. The club also signed Valencia goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili, though the Georgian star has opted to delay his arrival at Anfield until the end of the season.